ourselves, right? My wife and I, we do pretty well. We don't, struggle for, we can feed ourselves. We got everything we need. And um, there's been times when, Facebook is like the devil when it comes with these things, like scrolling through Facebook and seeing people on your feed in Hawaii or overseas and all these vacations and this and that driving, fancy vehicles. And my wife asked me sometimes, she's like, what are we doing wrong? Why can't we have these things, right? I mean, that's a legit thought. Like, why? I'm like, Aubrey, or we we don't, I bet they're in debt. They'd probably pay $1,000 a month for those
Yeah,
things.
that's
And my
right.
son, same question. He's like, Dad, why can't we get a motorhome or an RV and have motorbikes or dirt bikes and travel all the time? And I'm like, well, bud, because you know we're not paying for those things. We're not in debt for those things. Most people driving around probably are, and we're not. So we're choosing to do different things with our money rather than to go into debt with it. I
Right.
mean,
And your
yeah,
your
I feel
wife's
like
a
that's a good lesson, but
no, I think that's a great
yeah,
lesson because your wife is a nurse, right?
correct. Yeah,
Yeah, so you guys are, you have a good middle, and you're an accountant, she's a nurse, so
yep,
you guys have a good middle class
yep,
income, right? I'm sure you're leading, pretty normal middle class life, but you're doing it without debt. Because I think you're right. We've had that conversation with our kids that a lot of people around where you see kids you're in school with that they have all this stuff, like
yep,
a good portion of them are probably their parents are probably living paycheck to paycheck because they're spending all their money on all these toys
yep,
instead of making, different choices. And
yeah.
that's you can do that, but it's
There's a
opportunity cost. You
consequence.
you pay a high price for that.
Yep,
And
yep.
figuratively and literally.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think our kids see those things just from the people that are around and where we live, that kind of thing. So I don't know if that I mean, I'm sure it has something to do with it, just seeing all these things. So
Oh, I think so. Our daughter
yeah,
just told us in the past week, like because she's getting to the point where her friends are starting to drive and she's working on getting her license, and some of her friends have cars, and some of
yeah.
them are okay. It's a hand-me-down sort of a car, but others, she said, one friend, her parents both have Teslas, and they're thinking about getting her a
Oh
Tesla.
my
It's like,
gosh.
wow, okay. Well,
Well, I
I
think
hope.
yeah,
Maybe they make a ton of money and it's fine, but if
some people
that's
do.
yeah, but if that's debt for that, it's like
Yep.
and what is she learning from that?
Yeah, yeah. Just nothing really, just materialism, right? I
Yeah.
mean, not nothing, but just learning. Well, why can't I have that? And I think that the examples for our kids from what my wife and I drove when we were kids, I think our kids know they're not going to be getting a new Tesla. I think my wife
Yeah.
drove like a '69 Granada or something like that, and I
Yeah.
drove an '85 Ford F-250 diesel truck with a plow on the front. So those
Yep.
aren't, your typical, high class middle school or high class high school vehicles that, a lot of kids drive. So